Hey folks, good morning. It's me, Christiana Gaudet. I'm here on Facebook Live. If you happen to be watching an archive on Facebook or YouTube, thank you so much for being here. This is our Thursday weekly Tarot Topics newsletter recap. Before I get started with that, let me just share a couple of announcements. Of course, for those of you who are local to me in Palm City, we're having our grand opening of my new office this Sunday. It is a free event, but it is a ticketed event. And right now there are no tickets left. And that's because we have an amazing program. Ciro Marchetti will be with us. And we'll also have a psychic gallery with me. So that'll be a great event. If you have a ticket, make sure you're here at 3 o'clock on Sunday. Also, on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing a live webinar on the court cards, working with the tarot court cards on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel right now is called Christiana Gaudet. So make sure you're there at 10:30 Saturday morning Eastern Standard Time for our free live webinar. Hey, Maya, Tracy, so nice to see you here today. Glad you're here. As the room is filling up, let me just share a couple of other pieces of information. Of course, I want to mention StarCon. StarCon is an international tarot conference that will be held for the very first time in January 2021 in Palm Beach Gardens. If you're interested in tarot, metaphysics, any kind of divination, psychic work, cartomancy, this is a conference for you, and we would love to see you there. We'll be opening registration very soon. So, every week, I put out the Tarot Topics weekly newsletter. If you haven't received yours, you can go to my website, christianagaudet.com, and sign up. Or you can see it if you happen to be here on Facebook. You can see it right here in my links. Every week, I take on a different topic. I write about the topic. I come up with a tarot exercise or spread having to do with the topic. And also one tarot card that I think exemplifies it. Hey, Melissa, nice to see you here. So this week's topic is about the difference between love and relationship. And this came up because of a conversation I was having with someone about the power of unconditional love. And what she said to me was, I don't think I believe in unconditional love because relationships always have expectations. And you know what? She's not wrong. Relationships do have expectations, and we have to have boundaries in our relationships. And yet love itself has no expectations and no boundaries. And so I got to thinking about this. And I'm thinking that if we're going to have healthy relationships, not just romantic relationships, but all of our relationships within our family, within our friends, even within our work groups, and we may not love the people that we work with, and yet the ability to be a loving person is, I think, something that is in our own best interest to work to engender. And so the idea is we have love in our hearts, and that love is unconditional. And we have to be able to love people unconditionally. And yet in our relationships, we have to be able to have boundaries. And sometimes those boundaries mean, I don't ever want to see you or talk to you again. But let me find a way to do that with love. I know that may sound like a contradiction, but I think that's really the secret. That's really the trick. So that's what I wrote about in my newsletter. The tarot spread that I shared, or the tarot exercise that I shared, was really about how we read about relationships, and I actually did a class on that here. But we can also do readings about unconditional love. How can I be more loving? How can I have more love in my heart? So the other piece of this, of course, is the section of the newsletter that I call Cards for Your Consideration. And I mean, can you guess the tarot card that I chose to have to do with unconditional love? Of course, the Ace of Cups. the card that not only represents new love, but also represents the healed heart, the heart chakra, the Holy Grail, which is the womb of Mary Magdalene. It's a deep card. So if you're a tarot person, you might want to study that card, and you could spend some time in meditation with it to help yourself open up your heart to love. So the readings that we're going to be doing today are about love. I know some of you have already gotten in line asking for a reading, and I appreciate that. But here's what I really need you to do. What we're going to be working on today is specific to love. Now, that could be a particular relationship. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but a particular relationship you have questions about, your relationship with your kid or with your parent or with your coworker. It could be simply how to generate healing in your heart, how to generate more love in your heart, how to be more unconditional in the way you love. But those are the questions I'm going to entertain. And so, and Deidre comes in and says, guilty of that. Okay. And I think it's so important when we talk about love. People always right away think about romance. And love is so much more than that. You know, the early Greeks had like a bunch of different words for love. There's agape, there's eros, there's philios, there's storge, all of these different kinds of love. And I think it's so important. You know, we may not all have a romantic relationship. We may not all need a romantic relationship or want one, but we all need love. And so once again, I am happy to do readings, but you're going to have to pose a question that either has to do with handling a relationship. And again, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Betty says, loving yourself. Yes, absolutely. Love yourself. Love your higher power. See higher power within yourself. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Karen. So those of you asking for a card, that's not going to work for this exercise. For this exercise, you have to ask about either a particular relationship in your life, about finding a new relationship, about healing your heart, about loving yourself more. It's got to be about love and relationships, not necessarily romantic. Those are the questions I'm going to entertain. So if you have such a question, I've got like 5 of you asking for readings, but none of you have yet asked for an on-topic question. So there's my challenge to you. Phrase a question about a particular relationship, about your own ability to heal your heart, to open your heart, about what you need to do to be more loving in your life, about how you need to create a boundary within a particular relationship. Any of that, I am open to. And here they start coming. Thank you so much. We'll start with Karen. How do I improve my relationship with my younger stepdaughter? Yes, this is the exact sort of thing I wanted to work with today. Thank you so much, Karen. How do you improve your relationship with your younger stepdaughter? Okay, I feel like there's not always been honesty in this relationship. She may not be honest. She may not be forthcoming. And I think there's been some worry there. I feel like maybe she's had some issues with depression or anxiety, and maybe she doesn't feel good about herself. And she also has a lot of issues with her mother that can make things worse for you, Karen. And so the first thing I think you have to do is don't take the way she is personally and have compassion for her situation. Release expectations and recognize she's really been in a tough situation, and I know you want to help, but the best way you can help is to give her a little space. I hope that helps. Okay, Cindy, how does my love transcend dimensions? Oh, that is a really interesting question. That's very... That's sort of a very ethereal question. With an ethereal answer, the Ace of Wands. By recognizing that one can be very passionate about spiritual love, that one can be a beacon of hope for others by hanging on to the idea that love is the greatest power. I don't spout a lot of Christian philosophy, but I did grow up in the Methodist Church. And one of my favorite Bible verses is from 1 John about how God is love. And so when we recognize whatever we believe in terms of higher power, to recognize that there is some greater source of love that we can tap into. That's really what it's all about for all of us. And that's what really answers your question, I think, Cindy. Okay, Rogerio, how do I heal my heart? The Knight of Pentacles, well, what you've been doing, Rogerio, is just ignoring your heart. You've just been moving on, doing what you have to do, doing what you have to do. I think you need to confront your heart. You need to confront the pain that you've experienced. There's no way around it or under it or over it. You have to go through it. Confront your pain and you will heal it. Maya, what do I need to do to attract the right romantic relationship? What a great question. Let's see. Wow. Sometimes, here's what shows up for you, Maya. Sometimes things come when you're not looking for them and you're not trying to attract them. Pay attention to you, to your mission, to the things that you do, to your friends, to your creativity, to the things that make you happy. Pay attention to all of those things. Don't worry about attracting a relationship. But I think if you just love you and accept your life, it will come along. Cheryl, how to love a friend, but know you need to let go because it causes upset. That's an interesting one. So this particular situation that Cheryl has, the friend, you love this friend, but it causes you upset to be around this friend. Is there a way to be friends and have the right boundaries? Should you just let it go? How do you deal with this particular situation? I know that there really is love there, Cheryl. There really is. But I think there's times you've been too patient and times you've not been patient enough. I think you have to be really clear about what your boundaries are and stick with them. This is what I'm willing to do. This is what I'm not willing to do. And work with it that way. Maybe that will help. Okay, Deirdre, how can I improve how I handle my relationship? Very good question. It's hard because sometimes, like in this case, Deirdre, you're not necessarily the problem. The problem is with the other person. And so there's only so many contortions you can put yourself into to try to make it work better because the other person sort of does have a problem. So I think it's about not taking things personally, Deirdre, about appreciating what is good, being present for yourself and for the relationship when you can. But the things about this relationship that are weird are not your fault, and you need to recognize that. That's what I think. Okay, Karen liked her reading. Julie, I need to heal my heart. How do I get over this anger and pain over an otherwise beautiful day like Valentine's Day? So Valentine's Day did not go so well. I'm so sorry. Okay, so how can Julie heal her heart? I think the thing is, there's a lot here. There's a lot of anxiety here. There's a lot of upset. There is a lot of anger. You feel treated unfairly. It really, really doesn't feel good, Julie. I totally get that. I can see that. And there's not much you can do about what happened there. Truly, what you need to do is recognize it's not about you and move the heck on. Whatever you've put some time and energy into there is not really worth your time and energy. And I think that you need to recognize your own worth. I think you may have a history, Julie, of setting your sights on relationships with people who can't possibly be what you need, and then feeling hurt when, guess what, they're not what you need. So I think the more that you can love yourself and see your value, the more that you will attract to yourself people who also see your value. And at the end of the day, I think that's what you need. Okay. And Cindy, you hit it on the head. Good. Okay, Betty, I take care of my mother after her stroke. I know I love her, but I feel angry at the same time. How can I stop feeling bitter? I understand that completely. That is so hard. So hard. Oh, Julie liked it. Okay, good. Glad that was helpful. Okay, so I think, caregivers are allowed a certain amount of anger and frustration at the position you find yourself in. And I would say, even before I look at the cards, I'm going to say, don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about that anger and resentment. It's a normal thing to feel. It's okay. It's understandable. So acknowledge it. Don't try to push it away. Say, gee, I wish things were different, and I'm sorry I'm in this position. I'm sorry she's in this position. And then on a spiritual level, try to be grateful for the ways that being a caregiver can help you grow, that it can help you find patience. It can help you find that well of unconditional love in your heart, and just deal with and acknowledge the wide range of emotions that are here. And, there may be some practical things here too. You may be able to get some respite care. You may be able to learn to ask for help in a particular way. And so I think there are other things that you can do to help lighten your own load. But I recognize that it's difficult. And forgive me for saying it, it is temporary. Okay. TK. Should I wait for things to come or be on the front hunting? Okay. TK, do not hunt. Just learn how to be in the world and enjoy the world, and things will come. Melissa, so happy to see you here. Same question as Maya's. How do I attract the right relationship? All right. How does Melissa attract the right relationship? By fully healing from the wrong relationships. What shows up in the cards, Melissa, and you and I know each other pretty well, and so I could make some conjecture about where this is coming from, but just sort of take this and see what you think. There is, in your heart, Melissa, there is hurt and disappointment and upset from the past, from recent stuff, from old stuff. That really needs to go. That needs to just sort of be let go of so you can welcome something new. Fully let go of your feelings about the past, and the new will come in, Melissa, I promise you. Okay, very good. Hey, Jeannie, Puck, nice to see you guys. Hey, thank you so much, guys, for this opportunity to work with this theme. I will be back next Thursday. New newsletter comes out on Wednesday. Again, if you don't subscribe, go to my website, ChristianaGaudet.com, and subscribe for the newsletter. I think you'll enjoy it. If you're a tarot person, you'll enjoy it. There's a lot of good tarot stuff. If you like to follow where I am and what's going on my schedule and how you can participate in my offerings, newsletter does that. And once a week, I give you something interesting to think about. This time it was about love and relationships. And of course, if you're on my Facebook page, you can also read it here. Make sure you hit like while you're here. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe. And don't forget to join me this Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on my YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet, for an hour-long free tarot webinar working with the tarot court cards. I want to thank you guys so much. I want to remind you that I am available for private readings and tarot mentorship. We can work by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, right here in my Palm City office, or in Connecticut when I come to Connecticut at your home, at your office or at True Bikram Yoga in Madison. I want to thank you all so much for being here. I will look forward to seeing you soon, and I'll be back tomorrow with your Friday weekly wrap-up. Thanks so much.